So when I get to, like right now, I've done a couple of public speakings and things like that.
We can see why. You're engaging and entertaining.
And
you know what you're talking about.
Thank you. That's very encouraging and appreciate that. So I'm waiting. I feel like I'm waiting for things to polish up a little bit, but it's really not about like that, because what I'm experiencing whenever I begin to speak is I almost feel like there was this movie called The Never-Ending Story. But anyway, I feel like whenever I begin to talk, there's in a different dimension, a different realm, my eyes begin to glaze over, and I feel, and in my mind somewhere, I'm seeing these little blocks spinning around, and I feel like I'm going somewhere else, and it feels really incredible. And I'm like, is that kind of what was happening to Esther as she was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But what you're describing is also what we were talking about earlier in the first segment. This is turning thoughts to things, only it's even more rudimentary than that. It's turning vibration to thoughts. So what's happening is you're actually visually aware of these vibrations that you are perceiving. So you're perceiving them visually as well as auditorially.
Right. Is that why the doctors, this is something that, anyway, like to call me schizophrenic, because there's, on a daily basis, honestly, there are things that I see that people just don't see. The last time I was in Atlanta, a different hotel at your workshop, I saw a lady stand up and wave her hand, and I looked over there, and in a fraction, she disappeared. So some of these things are really interesting because some of these things and people that I see can be very relevant to the people around me, and I'm just kind of confused because the doctors, and as much as I rail against them and I've rebelled, and I feel most of the time really good about it because it's a non-issue, but I'm just kind of like, what is that about? Is this the natural? Does this happen to everyone, or do the doctors make me believe I'm the only one who's a little bit off kilter?
Well, it doesn't happen to everyone. Esther is not visual, she's auditory. So Esther receives these blocks of thought at an unconscious level and translates them into this conversation.
So would you say these are signs of alignment?
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of what I'm
They are definitely signs of alignment. The most important thing to understand, and you help us to make the point that we've been wanting to make all day, is that humans, that's you guys. Esther sings the song, I'm only human. She likes that. She likes to say, and I bleed when you bite me. You don't know the song. She listens to Pulse Radio.
Okay.
So you all often have difficulty getting to the basis of what deliberate creation really is. Deliberate creation is deliberate vibration. But you can't be deliberate about a vibration unless you have some relationship with it, some relativity to it. So the reason that we explain to you the source within you is a dominant vibration, and what you're thinking right now is a vibration, and there is a relationship between those vibrations that equal your emotions, which let you know how in sync or not you are with that broader, expanded, evolved version of you. So as we've been talking to you for a number of years in this format, giving you all kinds of different ways of relating to the vibrational world that you don't relate to all that well even now, because you are translating vibration through your eyes, so you see but you don't know you're doing it. You're translating vibration, that's why you hear. You're translating, that's why you smell and taste and feel with your fingertips. You are a veritable translator of vibration, but you've become so enamored with what has already been created that most of you are not aware in a hands-on way of what you are creating. And in order to do that, you must be in touch with your emotions, because your emotions let you know that relationship with that broader knowing. So through meditation, that's how Esther accomplished it, by consistently putting yourself in a focused place where the normal resistance that you've been dragging along, that you've picked up along your physical trail, is not active in this moment, because you're focused upon the sound in the air conditioning, or you're focused upon the flicker of a flame, or you're focused upon the feel or the sound of your breathing. As you focus in these really general terms so that you cease the resistant vibration, you become the vibrational frequency of who you really are and all you really know. And so what you're describing are the beginning manifestations or realizations, glimpses into that vibrational place. And those things that look fragmented and that, as you're describing, they take form. Every form you see happened in that way. Nobody's trucking any stuff in from other planets. In other words, you are creating through the in many cases mass consciousness consensus, but you are individually creating beyond that through your vibration. And you're either doing it deliberately by paying attention to how you feel as you think and feel, think and feel, think and feel, or you're doing it by default, just by thinking and not paying any attention to how you're feeling and not exercising any deliberate control in modifying the feeling. Mm-hmm. We had the best experience, and you had the best experience just now with the focus wheel, where you translated vibration because the feeling you were reaching for was active within you. You knew what you were going for. You finally started looking for love in all the right places for a little bit. You see what we're getting at? You used the feeling as your goal.
Right, I understand.
So now?
I mean, just the one last, so I've really thought about where does, okay, so basically all matter, because it had to come from somewhere coalesced from non-physical. So there really is more, because if this is here and this is physical and at the root of all is the non-physical, then matter must be coming out of thin air.
Matter is vibration perceived. That's all matter is. It's vibration perceived. And you think that it's more tangible, and it is, because more people are perceiving it. Mm-hmm. And it's a really good thing, because you were born with the ability to see, which is to perceive, and hear, which is to perceive. So this is what's tripping so many of you up. So much of the tangible was here when you got here, and all you had to do is look around at it. That now you've got it backwards. You think, well, I look and then I feel. And we say, that's how you regurgitate matter. That's how you continue to participate in the matter that's already here. But if you want to be a creator, you got to feel. You got to feel it and then see it. Did you get that? Is it meaningful to you?
Yes, that was. Thank you.
So you were born into a platform with plenty of bases. That's really good. With lots of contrast and lots of diversity. And why were you? Because no one can go back. No one can start over. You can't be born into a less evolved society. You knew what you were getting into. It's just like you knew it would be. But you came with a determination to take thought beyond, not just to move the parts around that are. You came to give birth to yet a new desire, which you knew when you made the decision to come that you could achieve it. You knew that if this time-space reality could inspire the desire within you, this time-space reality could deliver the goods in their full manifested form. You knew that. Mm-hmm. Are you enjoying this conversation of how thoughts turn to things? How thoughts turn to things? Because if you get this, as you are getting it, all things become possible for you. Most people never allow themselves to create things they really want unless lots of others have already created it and it looks really easy. In other words, don't let your belief about it be based upon how many others are doing it. Let your belief about it be based upon how much airtime you give it and how familiar you become with it and how easy it is for you to think the thought because you've got enough momentum going about that thought. You could pick the wildest things and practice the thought until they feel normal, and it will manifest in your life, and other people go, whoa, how did you do that? No one's ever done that. And you say, what's that got to do with anything? What I create doesn't have to do with anything. I'm not regurgitating. I'm creating. I am a creator. I am a perceiver of the new. I'm taking thought and experience beyond that which it has ever been before. I'm determined to be in the middle of a relationship with someone who I adore and not trample her toes of freedom to allow her to be and do and have everything that she wants while I enhance her experience by the clarity of mine. That's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to have a unique relationship. My relationship's not going to be based upon the bondage that I need to apply to you. You know, if you do that, I feel insecure, so please don't do any of that. In fact, I've been searching the whole world for someone who would behave just in the way I need them to behave so that I can feel good. And I think you're it. You're close to it, but you've got to work really hard to please me. Just running, screaming into the woods. I wasn't born to please you. I innately know that I must be pleased. I must be pleased, you see. So how do you teach someone else to be pleased? By you being pleased. Not by changing conditions that bring pleasure, by finding pleasure that bring conditions. That's deliberate creating, you see.